mi dipin hi hiksimdo inkatin sawa nga sawzabin hizongle aina ngai thi mubin lang memorandum lamka the 24 July 2024 to Shri Amit Shah, Union Home Minister of India, New Delhi. Subject: request for commissioning a special investigation team to be constituted and monitored by the Honorable Supreme Court against the extrajudicial action of Assam Police jurisdiction in regards to the death of 3 youth from Kuki-Zo community in Assam. Sir, the Kuki-Zo women submit this memorandum for your kind consideration to initiate an investigation into the extrajudicial killing of 3 youths in Cachar district of Assam on the 16th July 2024. The Kuki-Zo women would like to draw your attention that there has been a gross violation of human rights, fundamental rights and the constitutional protection guaranteed to the people by a section of the Assam Police. This regarding the rules and procedures established by the law, the Assam Police has attempted to cover up the extrajudicial killing to protect itself despite the compelling evidence which is conclusive of the allegation made against it by the victim's family that it was a fake and staged encounter. We have therefore requested the constitution of Special Investigation Team headed by judges of the Supreme Court of India for detailed investigation to understand the facts of the case as they stand. We are completely shocked by the appalling facts that have come to light during our inquiry, which we would like to bring to your attention. These are the followings. Number 1. The deceased victim, Lalung Oy Mar, 21, son of Lalran Sang Mar of K. Bethel Village, Bunankal, Dikush, Lakhipur, Cachar District, Assam. Lalbi Kumar, 33 years old, son of Lalchavel Mar of K. Bethel Village, Bunankal, Dikush, Lakhipur, Cachar District, Assam, and K. Joshua Lalrin Sang, 35 years old, son of Tiang Meng Thang Mar of Senbong, Lailak, Tipaimuk Subdivision, Herzol District, Manipur, are convicted and criminalized by the Assam Police without trial as per procedure laid down by law. It is still unclear under which section of the BNS or IPC the deceased were arrested and killed. It is very likely that the deceased were denied their fundamental rights under Article 22 of the Constitution, namely their rights to be informed of the reason for their arrest. The Assam Police did not produce the deceased youth before the nearest magistrate within 24 hours, which is complete violation of the procedure to be followed and laid down for every arrest. Instead, the Assam Police kept the deceased youth in police custody till the next day. The family members, friends and relatives of the deceased have given sworn testimony indicating that they were not informed of their arrest. Their failure to notify them of the arrest is a violation of another fundamental rights guaranteed under Article 22(2), which provide individuals with the right to inform their loved ones about their arrest and the reason behind it. They were denied their fundamental rights to consult legal aid of their choice, although it is learned that they had spent the night at the police station. The family members of the deceased got the news of their arrest and death from the social media or internet, the news and information which they should have rather received it first from the police. A video that has resurfaced on the internet depicts the deceased individuals cooperating with the police and showing no signs of resistance during the arrest. This portrayal suggested that at the time of the incident, the individual did not pose a threat to peace, public order, and society as a whole. As a result, it calls into question the justification for the use of force by the police in this situation. Without evidence of aggressions or violence towards the officers, the notion of the police defending themselves in this encounter seems unfounded. Another video taken after the arrest depicts the deceased individuals kneeling on the ground, blindfolded with their hands tied behind their back, being harassed by police officers. This disturbing footage showcases the vulnerable positions in which the deceased men were placed as they faced potential threat to their very life by such egregious abuses of power by the police. The clothes worn by the deceased men during their arrest and after their death are not same. Aside from the violation of the above-mentioned fundamental rights and protection given by the law to the suspect, it is evidence that the deceased youth were denied the rights to equality under Article 14 of the Constitution. They were denied the right to avail the protection and benefits other suspects enjoys, and they were denied the right to fair trial guaranteed to them by the Constitution under Article 21. Thus, it is eventually clear that the Assam police lied regarding the cause of death of the victims, which we believe they did so to evade any further investigations that could expose the heinous crimes they have committed. The suspects succumbed to death while they were under the custody of police as a result of their arrest and at a place outside the police station, with a video existing as proof wherein the said video of the suspects caused the death of the suspects. Sir, it is therefore justified to conclude that the suspects lost their lives due to extrajudicial killing by the Assam police, organizing a fake encounter which the Supreme Court observed and equated to cold-blooded murder in its judgment on Prakash Kadam versus Ram Prasad Vishwanath Gupta case in 2011. The above finding leads to the conclusion that there were widespread violation of fundamental rights and human rights guaranteed under the Constitution against the arrest suspects since the arrest and even after their death. In this case, the Assam police violated the supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law. Inadequate measures are not taken that could deter other police force in the country. It will serve as a green light for other unethical police forces to misuse their power and authority. Unethical police personnel like them pose a threat to democracy, the Constitution, and the citizens. Therefore, protecting citizens from the unethical activities and abuse of power is necessary for constitutional democracy like ours. Since the cause of their death is being recorded by the police as death succumbed during a firing, it became increasingly challenging for any investigation agency to delve deeper into the matter. Despite the overwhelming evidence, the suspect human and fundamental rights remain unchecked. From the moment of their arrest to their untimely demise, as such, the only viable solution to ensure justice for the victims and their grieving families is the establishment of a special investigation team led by a judge or judges from the esteemed Supreme Court. This approach will guarantee a thorough and impartial examination of events leading to the tragic loss of life, ultimately delivering the justice that is rightfully deserved. An impartial investigation headed by judges of the Supreme Court is an absolute necessity in order to maintain integrity and credibility in the process. The potential risk of threat and bribes influencing the outcome of investigations are significantly lowered when conducted by a commission under the guidance of the highest judicial authority in the country. Such a commission would serve as a powerful deterrent against corrupt practices within the police fraternity, preventing them from wielding unchecked power over the lives of citizens. It is crucial to uphold the principle of justice and fairness by establishing a special investigation team commission led by Supreme Court judges to ensure accountability the process. Lastly, the justice for the victim, particularly in this case, and the fate of many others who can become victims depend upon your decision today. Believing in your wisdom and your empathy for the vulnerable section, including the scheduled tribes of India, we are confident of a positive response from your office. This is sign off by Mrs. Naini Kim Ho Kim, President, Kuki Women Organization for Human Rights, and Rebecca Mar, President, Mar Women Association, General Headquarter. And this is also copied to Chairperson, National Commission for Human Rights for their information and necessary actions. Thank you.